So, have you ever had the experience of being overweight and doing what it takes to find love?
I've had the former, but not the latter. Or maybe I have, but at different times. I've definitely been fat and in love, but I don't know if I've had to prove it at that time. I might have had to prove it when I was skinny. I don't know, my weight fluctuates. But it was weirdly enough, I was doing a film when I was kind of, slightly larger, and the following film was Hot Fuzz, so I had to get in really great shape for that. And then was Run Fatboy Run, so it should have been the other way around, and then I wouldn't have had to wear the padding.
I was going to ask you, so you did wear padding in this film. It wasn't like they started you off like in the De Niro weight, and then you lost.
No, I didn't have the chance to go to Italy and eat pasta. Although I would have taken it, obviously. No, I had a little kind of fat suit that I wore. Not in the kind of Eddie Murphy vein. It was just a bit of latex padding around my waist and around my hips and chest, and that was to get across the idea. And also, the film is not a fat movie. It's not a joke about being fat at all. It's more about the notion of being fat of mind, and fat of attitude, and just being a bit not fit.
Now, everybody knows that Brits hate to be in shape and go to the gym and have a tan.
Yeah, because the Americans are just all so thin, right? Or those barbecue places I've seen those odd documentaries. We're all overweight. Come on, everyone.
So, what was it like for you to run marathons and work out?
I don't mind. Well, that was that again. That was the thing about Hot Fuzz, was that I was a bit of a gymophobe, and I wasn't really. It came to Hot Fuzz, and I thought I'm going to have to get in massive shape for this, and I really got into it. Once you get in there and you get in the zone, as they say, you start thinking, wow, I can make a difference to how I look and how I feel, and all it takes is 3 hours lifting metal every day. Actually, that's a lot to ask. But I did kind of get into it and start enjoy running. I started to make playlists for my iPod and take some trouble doing that, and then you'd stick it on random and you'd be there, and every other song was great, and it's a great time to think, when you're working out. And I got trainers, and it was really fun to work with them, and I made friends, and they all got thank yous on the Hot Fuzz credits. So by the time it came to do Run Fatboy Run, I was absolutely ready for it. It wasn't a pain in the behind.
Did you keep up with it? Are you still into it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I've just decided that for my next film I'm going to be really thin, but not Christian Bale thin in The Machinist. That was incredible, but distracting, I think. I love Christian; he's an amazing actor, but that was beyond method. So I'm going back to the gym.
Now, what about weddings? Are you married?
I am a married man, yes.
So what do you remember about your wedding? Were you nervous?
I was nervous. But it was a wonderful day, best day of my life, So, and weddings are always fun. I love going to, if you get invited to a wedding, you always know it's going to be a good party, because it's invariably, just filled with positivity and love. There's usually a bit of a fight. A wedding wouldn't be complete without a punch-up. Do you know what I mean? Some uncle and some other uncle wrestling on the floor while some other person dances with a baby. That is what a wedding is for me. Dancing to some, hit from the 70s. And then they're crying. Their two uncles are just crying, covered in sweat. I've always loved you, and and then the bride and groom go off and have sex. End of story.
One quick one. I understand that you and Hank Azaria were bonding over Monty Python.
Yeah, Hank's a huge Python fan, and of course was in the original Broadway production of Spamalot, so he knows his stuff. And I love the American affection for Python, because Python is so British. It's distinctly British, and for me, it's proof that that British comedy works over here, if there is such a thing. I think it's basically just comedy, but yeah, Hank's a real Python geek, and he took me to Spamalot when it opened in the West End. So we would do quotes from Python, and that was how we sort of became friends. He's a very, very funny guy, Hank. He's such an adept comic. I think this role for him was almost, he's had to rein it in a little bit, because he's playing this sort of super cool guy, when he has such great comic skills. But yeah, we did geek out over Python.
Great. Penguins on the telly.
Yeah. That's an amazing sketch, that one.
Yes.
Penguin on the telly! They start corpsing in that one.
Okay.